Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're going to talk about 13.2 a little bit. I saw a couple of cool videos that not only my coach made, but a couple of other coaches in terms of strategizing for the workout and so forth. And I know a bunch of people are curious as to what they think would be an appropriate strategy for this workout. So 13.2, the workout is a 10-minute AMRAP, 5 shoulder to overhead, 115 pounds for the guys, 75 for the girls, followed by 10 deadlifts, 115 for the guys, 75 for the girls, 15 games standard box jumps. So that's the workout. I want to talk a couple of things before we get to the workout. The first one is fueling, like food intake before the workout. I think there's a window of probably about 2 to 3 hours prior that you want to make sure you eat something. Not too soon before the workout. Like if you eat sooner than 2 hours before, your stomach's going to end up processing a lot of the food and whatnot in your stomach as opposed to sending blood to those muscles while they're working. If you eat later than 3 hours, you might not be fueled properly. Even though it's a 10-minute workout, that 10-minute workout, you're going to be burning a lot of sugars. Don't really eat or change up anything that you're eating normally, but you want to get something in within that 2 to 3 hour window. So that's one thing. Warm-up, guys. Warm-up is a big thing. So I saw a lot of people last week for that big workout warming up by just foam rolling and rolling out for like 20 minutes. Basically getting your body into like a trance state, relaxing when you should be pretty jacked up. Not that mobility's not good, but you need to pick and choose the times to do it. So I kind of came up with a little warm-up that I think would work for this workout in particular. For those of you that go to CrossFit Westchester, take a nice slow jog around the building. Everybody else, about a 2 to 3 minute slow jog just to get the blood flowing. From there, we want to make sure we're loosening up the joints and making sure that you're ready to move. So one of those things would be mobilizing the ankles, mobilizing the hips, and then mobilizing the upper back in order to get into a good overhead position when pressing. The ankles and stuff, make sure you loosen them up for the box jumps, obviously. Upper back, hips, everything. Make sure you're moving with good posture and whatnot. So you want to spend about 4 to 5 minutes on mobility using those things. Mobility WOD's a good resource. Obviously, if you guys are members here, you can come talk to me. I'll show you some tips if you don't remember some of the stuff we've done from class. In terms of movement prep, you want to think about doing something 3 to 4 minutes then specifically to get the body warmed up. So something I did today was 20 double unders. Then I did a waiter walk where I was basically holding a kettlebell overhead, good shoulder position, walked 20 meters with the right, then I walked 20 meters with the left. I did 5 goblet squats and then 10 X-band walks each direction. And I did 2 rounds of that. It took me about 4 minutes. I started to break a sweat at that point. Then hopped on the rope, did a 90-second interval, really hard and fast. At this point, my heart rate was up. And the final piece was I did 2 rounds of the actual workout, 5 reps. 5 reps of each movement, 5 shoulder to overhead, 5 deadlifts, 5 box jumps. First at 75 pounds, then at 95 pounds. My body was primed and ready to move. I was warmed up for about 20, 25 minutes. And I attacked this workout for 5 minutes today just to figure out my pacing strategy. So as I mentioned to a couple of you guys yesterday, I think the scoring continuum on this workout is going to be as follows. 0 to 5 rounds is what you're going to see at CrossFit Beginner again. Those that haven't really been here for more than a year or aren't really yet able to handle these workout weights yet, then the next range is going to be that 6 to 8 round, where I think 80% of the world is going to fall into this category. This is where most people are going to fall today. I've seen 15 people do the workout so far, and everybody's in this range. 9 rounds is going to be that of a good CrossFitter. 10 rounds, I think at that point, 10 rounds, you're looking at really good CrossFitters, guys who have been in the regionals before. And then that 11 plus round range, which is actually my goal, I think that's where you're going to see those top 10 caliber regionals athletes, games athletes hitting it around that time. That being said, guys, I did this workout for 5 minutes today just to figure out my pacing. This isn't a workout that I see being conducive to doing multiple times simply because high volume deadlifts at a low weight for most people is a recipe for disaster, jacking up the back, box jumps, your calves, your whole posterior chain is going to be lit up. If you want to, maybe kind of do what I did for 5 minutes and try to work on it, work on the skills, the transitions and stuff, that's a good idea. In terms of doing it twice, I don't know really how good of an idea that is. So there's going to be 2 types of people on this workout, guys. The people that struggle with the weights and then the people whose Metcon suffers. We're gonna focus on the people whose Metcon is the part that suffers. So what you guys want to think about is locking in and keeping a good rhythm with everything. So those of you that saw Annie going yesterday, she was right from the presses, coming immediately into the deadlifts. At a light weight, if you're strong enough, that's probably going to be the best idea for you to try to hang on to the bar. In the later rounds, as you start to get tired, you want to think every time you pick the barbell up, either the 5 shoulder to overhead are unbroken or the deadlifts are unbroken. You don't want to start getting into the habit of breaking those movements up. The box jumps for me, and I think for most people whose Metcon is going to play the major limiting factor, is going to be the slow part. You want to think about resting on the top of the box, maybe taking a deep breath if that's your rhythm, and then as you come down, you're ready to recoil and ready to fire and jump again. The transition from station to station has to be fast though. This is a 10-minute workout, so if you guys think about it, literally every second on this is going to count. No one's going to go out the gate at 100% here, but you're going to see a lot of people, especially those getting into 10 rounds or up range, those of you who really want to push it, maximize your score. The rest period total from transition to station and taking breathing in, somewhere between a minute to 2 minutes tops, which means there's 8 minutes of work, and that 8 minutes of work you really have to be cruising. So know what you're fast at, know what you're slow at. If you know the weights are going to slow you down, you got to pick it up on the box. If you know you're going to blow through the weights and the box is going to slow you down, then think about staying in a rhythm. 5 presses in a row into your 10 deadlifts, do your 15 box jumps, 1 deep breath in the top of each box, 2 deep breaths as you walk back over to the bar, and try to continue and stay in that cycle for 10 minutes. I think it's just really important to remember, guys, that this is just for fun, and that the most important thing is that you guys are having fun. One last thing to think about, this is particularly for the ladies in terms of wasting movement. A lot of you guys are going to have 15-pound plates on the bar if you're doing this as prescribed or you're not a master. So obviously we know when we pick that bar up from overhead and we're dropping it, the bar is going to ricochet and bounce. If that bar ricochets and bounces and you really take 2 to 3 seconds, 5 seconds to go chase after the bar, you're going to be wasting precious time. I mean, that could be six rounds that you get, 5 seconds, that's 30 seconds you wasted. So if you guys are going to drop from overhead, make sure you follow the bar back down to the ground, go right back into your deadlift, then you're going to walk over to your box jump station and so forth. Think about keeping a really good rhythm. That's why I think practicing the workout for 5 minutes just to get your pacing is a great idea. But most importantly, guys, just go out, crush it, and have fun. Thank you.